Cool. Major league apologies for that, people. I've got some technical issues today, but I'm just going to keep on giving it a bash. So, I've got a problem with one of the samples on Ableton, which is like clipping at like 150 decibels or something ridiculous. I've got to try and find it. So let's go hunting. And last seen was in this area here. So one of these samples over here, I don't know which one, has got a massive amplitude. And I think it's one of these kicks. So let's try and find it. It was one of these claps, actually. Yeah, it's one of these claps. Cool. Let's try it by cycling through these claps like I did before. I think it's going to be this one. Sorry, I know this isn't very interesting or exciting, but I've got a problem to solve here, and you get to watch me solve it on a Monday morning, wherever you are, Monday afternoon. Okay. What we're looking for here is a huge spike in the volume, the amplitude. That should help us find it. Nothing that I can spy so far. Perhaps it was the hi-hat. Let's try and cycle through all the hi-hats and see what we get there. It's going to be one of these guys here. There we go. Because every time I've hit that one sample, it's actually caused OBS to crash, which means the stream crashes and Ableton crashes and everything crashes. This is a major problem. I can't actually progress until I found it. And it looks like it's giving me a bit of a runaround too. Bummer. It's supposed to be a fun stream. Maybe we should just put the hi-hat, the trap kit, on hold for now, while I try and diagnose this problem. When it looks like this type of thing, doesn't it? Like this looks like a problem right here, but you just don't know. Okay. Anyway, let me just keep on trucking forward. This is not really the place or time to try and figure this out. So, first things first, let's just change the stream. Cool. Yeah, it's highly unusual to have like a sample play so loud that it actually crashes an app. That's like suicidal tendencies. So I'm going to skip the trap kit for now. And then we just assume that we've got basically everything we need drums wise in order to start up this project. So I don't want to talk too much more. I want to get this project going. I've muted the trap kit and we should have access to all of the others. All the other delicious sounding samples. Okay, cool. Let's do some work on the bass. First things first, I want to add a monoizer to the bass. I want the bass to be mono no matter how attractive its timbre is. It needs to be a mono signal because of the role it plays in the track. Leave stereo effects to the harmony and melody sounds. Okay, let's start with an easy one, which is just, low brooding. nothing too kind of corny either. Let's get on with it. First thing I got to do is, well, the next thing I got to do is basically download the Cyberpunk 2077 soundtrack as a reference track and make sure that I can hear it at any stage throughout any project. So hopefully there's a YouTube video with it just got all of the original score elements to it. Yeah, there we go, cool. So I want to download this YouTube video. Have you joined in? What is up? What is cooking? How's it going? What are you doing today? I enjoy chatting to people while I work, so feel free to chime in the chat. Your comment will appear on the screen. Cool. Okay, so there's 2 hours of music. That's a lot of material to draw on. Should be good. So yeah, I'm downloading the soundtrack for Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm going to use that as a reference track. Unfortunately, not live on stream because I don't want to get flagged on copyright. So I'm just going to be listening to it kind of in the background while I try to imitate some of these tracks. Basically, that's the job. That's what I do. So I'm downloading this. Should take a couple minutes, and then we can go about recreating some of these sounds. So if I wanted, for example, to recreate a bass sound, which wasn't the massive bass sound, it was something else. Let's try starting with the bass. Starting with the bass category in Ableton. So under sounds, I'm going to go to bass because they've done a lot of the work already. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm listening to these bass sounds, and I'm sort of A-Bing them. I'm just listening to the massive sound and trying to find a good similar sound. The one that's similar enough that I can just tweak it, you know. That's not bad. I like the fact that that's rhythmically done. In fact, I'm going to make a note of just this bite-sized bass as a generative patch. I want to create a new folder. Can I do that? My stuff, new folder. Not in trap drums, no, thank you. Just in the root folder. No empty space to click on to create a new folder. That's quite annoying. Okay, where do I do that? It's just going to have to be in there, and then I'll move it. Okay. Generative or rhythmic, I think, is a good idea. Rhythmic's better, not generative, yeah. This is a very DIY approach towards this whole thing, but yeah, we are doing what we can to make a good palette of sounds. If I go down to generative, does it necessarily rhythmic? Rhythmic. Okay, cool. Rhythmic there, and then where were we? Bite-sized bass. So let's actually get rhythmic in here as a folder. Good. And then change, not instruments, but sounds to bite-sized bass. So what you're really seeing here is just a dude working as he would, as if no one was watching. And the point of it is just to kind of get the work done and share the process, you know. So we've got a bite-sized bass. There's the rhythmic rhythmic. Let's keep going. That's pretty similar. Calculated bass. Let's try that as a starting point for this emulated bass. No, it's not anything like what I thought it was. Unfortunately, too far to let's just add that in so we can play them. Cool. I'm looking for something very specific here. You can't hear these sounds being previewed, unfortunately. They don't feed through to the... That's it. That's the one. That's the exact one I'm looking for. Let's try it out. Just on this channel. Yes, that's great. Turn the resonance down. We don't want that. A, B. Yeah. It's just way too resonant. Let's just see if we can take the drive down. Okay, we'll filter out some of these high resonances, but is it filter 2? Is that the issue? 1, 2, 1. It's got a yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna just find the resonance of this and just take it down, the amp resonance. Filter resonance. Okay. It's the filter type, so I'm going to change it to PRD to clean. No, and which one is it? Is it 1 or 2? It's 1. Okay, so I'm actually in the wrong place here. I can go back to PRD and SMP. No, that's not working. Turn it off. Kind of losing it a bit here. Cool. What I'm trying to do at the moment is match this sound to this one, and I've lost the way a bit, so I'm going to reset this patch with that's how it was before. And what I'm trying to do now is get rid of the resonance value that's making this filter peak up like that, because then it'll sound more like I want it to. It's also down an octave is going to help, right? Yeah, that's better, yeah. Cool, but now I want to control this. You see, I've got to... find this. I've got to find this. Okay, so I'm going to spend a bit of time now just customizing this bass. This is nice, but it's too much. It's too much to... None of this seems to be working. Just trying to reset things one by one. See what the offending is. The filter type. Okay, this is quite cool though. I enjoy this kind of sound design stuff. It is fun. Let's turn that off. Let's turn a filter 2. Filter 1 also seems to be having the same issue. This is high frequency flutter that's not working. Okay, so Hello Newman, which is a Jerry Seinfeld reference, is still the closest we found. And I'm going to keep going because I can't actually tweak it in time. You give it 2 or 3 seconds, or maybe like 2-3 minutes, and that's it. You're not going to spend hours in each. That one seems to be close enough too. Let's try it out. That's better, yeah. And let's also just do the favor of doubling up on the mono bass. Okay, good. It's nice. It's not a bad bass for this cyberpunk genre. Okay, it's got to do with velocity. Something with the velocity is lower velocities are giving it much higher resonance value, which I don't want. There we go, I see it now. Velocity minus 30. So we take off frequency 1. Velocity should not be. And then resonance, yeah, okay, cool. Still impacting it though. Why is that? Let's try it again. The MIDI value of the velocity is affecting okay, so I'm actually getting a better understanding here of how this wavetable synthesizer works, which is quite cool. Let's just do a little track here. Duck, 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 doo-doo, doo, 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 doo. 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, tuck, 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 tuck. Okay, we're going to need to save the keyboard mapping of that to T. Good. So, sorry, not tap. Keyboard mapping of this is going to be deleted, and keyboard mapping of the click is going to be C. That's it. Three, four. Cool, that should allow me to now play hands-free. Okay, still not really getting there with the filter. And another problem is that the bass has been cut off, so okay, let's play it here. It's an octave high. It's an octave lower. Okay. So we've got a problem with the pitch actually, so let's get the pitch. Seeing as I'm going to be not using the massive patch, I will change the pitch on the massive patch up an octave, and then these should come down, okay? That's not going to work. Yeah. That's not going to work as a bass patch, so okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've reached the end of today's stream. As exciting as it was, facing power cuts, technical difficulties, and literally a crashing computer. Yeah, we'll be back again. I'll be back again tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in if you did. This is the start of the cyberpunk era. We are going to make 10 tracks, 10 templates in fact, of cyberpunk themed music, which sound like the original game music. And if that sounds cool, welcome to sub and check it out on Patreon once it's done. Yeah, and thanks for the support recently. I'm seeing a growth in subscriber numbers, which is very cool, very encouraging. Tomorrow I'll be back with the usual lighting, and I'll continue to make a bit of progress on this side. What I'm aiming to do is, yeah, loading up these patches on Massive as sort of blueprints. Just load up this thing here, yeah. So this sound that you're hearing now, I'm trying to emulate that in Ableton so that I'll tweak it a little bit so it sounds just like that, and then we use that as the actual bass for the track, and then start writing some parts. This is a nice sound though, isn't it? I know what one thing we can immediately do is take the filter envelope and the resonance value of this is like way too high already. All of these things have too much like presence. This one pops out a lot more, but the problem is that the filter envelope actually needs to kick in like that, yeah, but just quicker. So take the drive down. Yeah, and then it needs to sort of scale back. We're going to figure this all out, don't worry about it kids, we're going to figure it all out. But for now, yeah, you see there's a delay. That's interesting. Okay, nothing there. Let's look here again. Envelope 266. I see what's going on here. Good. I just got way too much in the line of resonance. Very interesting. You can just draw these curves, you know. It's not LFOs, it's resonance. Resonance is the problem. Filter 2 is not doing anything. There it is. I just minused it to 100. That's done the trick. So for some reason, you have to actually put a negative value on it in order for it to do the job. Okay, we're getting there. You can see I've already made it sound a little bit more similar. The problem here is that that has a sort of more of a sub value and a low value, a low base value. This one doesn't. And it's going to go beyond just changing it to down an octave. We actually have to create a second oscillator which is lower. Yeah, so this one here, detune 3, not detune semi. We can do maybe semi can be minus 12 here. That should do the trick, huh? Sorry, I'm just curious, not going down the rabbit hole. No, that's not the one. Maybe that's the one that needs to be up. Okay, let's try that. That's not going to work either. Well, then the other option is just to layer this, to separate this out into two separate channels. So I'm going to turn this one back on. It gives it the reset it, cool. And then I'm also going to group it with another like an oscillator right down below. So what I'm doing now is adding the operator as a second device in this group, which is just going to basically be our bass. And that already sounds better. See, there is Jupiter without the low end, and there's Jupiter with the low end. So I've already got the results I want here. I'm just going to take this volume down. Yeah. So that acts as our sort of sub layer, which is great. Cool. Don't have to do much more to it. Okay, there's also much quicker decay on this instrument, so I'm going to just very quickly get to the point that is the envelope. That's it. It's still decaying way too slowly. That sounds more like it. There we go. Now we're talking about. We've now a little bit of sharpness in the top end on the original one, but so what I've done today, I've taken a sort of a side track, but today has been about emulating an existing patch. So in the case of Massive, the patch name is Crayon, and it sounds like this. That's just a normal F note on the low end, and within a few minutes I've gone and created an instrument similar to it in Ableton, like that. So not too far off, and we can use that as a starting point. We'll do similar things for the remaining Massive patches to fill out these roles, harmony, melody, and texture, thereby converting Massive packs, Massive tracks, basically Massive bass tracks, into default Ableton library instrument templates, which I then distribute via Patreon and enable people to make cyberpunk music using just the actual template files, which I've done the sound design for. So hopefully that's useful to you guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Today was fun. I enjoyed it. And let's carry on tomorrow. Peace out. Thanks for stopping by and putting up with all the bullshit, like the technical problems and stuff. And yeah, see you guys again in the next stream. Ahoy.